All right, hello Longs Chapel family. It's Judy Dodson, your church leadership chair, and Chris Westmoreland, one of your pastors. And yeah, sorry, my glasses are coming off with my mask. We are so grateful to be able to bring you a little bit of an early week update just about some things that are happening in the life of the church. We just wanted to keep you aware of, obviously, especially in this pandemic season that we're in. Folks are connecting in different ways than they traditionally connect, but we just wanted to make sure that you were in the know about some things that are happening. So Judy, what do we want to update about?
And we often do, we kind of start with a building update, but I think we want to do even more updates on this video than just about the building. But the building is coming along. It's quite beautiful. We're here in the big multi-purpose room.
Yeah, Abby, you want to pan around just to show everybody real quick? The multi-purpose space, and the lights got put in this week, and there's actually exterior lights on the building now. And we just, Judy and I are taking this as we just got done with Car Church. And saw the front walkways, the front door, the pad is poured. Just really, really exciting stuff that's happening. We are close to being able to use some rooms in the downstairs, the children's child enrichment center rooms, and so just really, really cool stuff. And the building is coming along, and we're about where our revised budget has taken us, and so we'll give you some more updates about that because we're getting really close to figure out what date we'll be able to schedule some kind of COVID-friendly gathering to be able to kind of open the new space. So we'll get you some more details around that.
And we're thinking October.
That's correct.
Right? Like,
October,
not sure when in October, but
that's right.
That's
early to mid October, and we're so we're kind of excited about that, and excited that if you're here on campus and you'd like to schedule a tour, please just holler at us in the church office, and we would love to try to schedule a time to be able to walk you through when the workers aren't working. Is the important part of that.
And while we're excited about the new building and excited about the facilities and what that's going to mean, I have to say I'm still a little bit disheartened that the COVID virus has not gone away.
Yes.
And we're in here for the long haul, and church leadership is, we reviewed the survey results from like 8 or 10 weeks ago, but we also know people's thoughts and opinions and comfort levels are also shifting as it has not gone away. So we're just continuing to have to modify what that means in terms of time frames. So right now we're still just sticking with Car Church.
That's correct.
Although, tell them about the tent.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about the tent. So we are actually at the mercy of the tent company to get it set up. So we've been on a holding pattern for about 2 weeks, but there is a big green patch of grass. It's really the only green patch of grass we have currently at the church, but it's going to actually have the folk moot tent. We're actually borrowing / renting the folk moot tent, which is going to be sitting up on top of that green pasture out beside the mobile unit right near the Martin house. And so hopefully, Judy, this Friday, that actually gets put up. And so as of next week, we're able to offer you, what we're trying to do is offer you more options and ways to connect in ways that are appropriate to your own situation. And so there are some small groups that are meeting on the campus. In fact, more and more small groups are meeting on the campus. If they're meeting inside, it's 10 or less people, and they're wearing masks and they're socially distant. So we want to start some larger inside prayer gatherings that could even potentially go up to 25 people. Again, socially distanced appropriate kind of stuff. But right now, while the weather has been so beautiful outside, we have been sticking to Car Church. We had Arise, which is a Tuesday evening worship experience this past week, and it was fantastic. And so I don't know that we're going to do a weekly midweek evening service, but we're definitely going to try to do that every several weeks. And we'll get you more information about that. And then the tent really does, Judy, it expands our capacity to be outside. Because what I need everybody to know is even if we as a church were fully open right now and operational, if the pandemic hadn't even happened, we'd still be really limited about what we could do inside the facility because of the construction. It is a bit of a mess, and so it's a safety hazard too. So I'm really excited that we're able to do some things outside. And then obviously via emails and videos like this, small groups that are gathering, we're just trying to keep folks connected in ways that allow us to grow in our faith in this important season.
Well, and even small groups, we talked about inside, but they can also meet outside.
Correct.
Like there's some spots on campus to meet outside.
So you have a Sunday evening group.
We have a
doing tailgate small group.
We have tailgate Sunday school.
I love it.
And that's gone pretty well too.
I love it. So know that Tom Owens on our staff course is dealing in adult discipleship, but we would love to get you connected to ways that you could grow deeper in small groups with one another. Remember our stream worship services on Sunday mornings too. We'll continue to do that. We've always been a streaming church. Well, now we're streaming all 3 of our services, and we'll continue to indefinitely. A couple of staffing updates, if it's appropriate, Judy. I know that Drew just led his last car church, and so Drew Westmoreland will be going to Appalachian State this upcoming Tuesday. He's still going to help lead the 10:10 service a little bit remotely, but this will be his last leading of car church. But he's done a great job as an interim worship leader. Really proud of the job that he's done, and we actually have candidates for that job. So we are actually currently interviewing for that, and it's been pretty exciting. So that team is fantastic, and modern worship stuff is just moving forward and rolling along. We also, Elizabeth Minsky, who was our director of hospitality, she has had a family crisis and has needed to return back to Illinois very suddenly, actually. And so she has done that. Laura Greer has stepped in there. And so she's going to run a little bit of an interim there just so that we don't lose any ground with any on-site hospitality that we need to do. And so if you want to volunteer to serve at Car Church or any of these other experiences that we're talking about, you can certainly reach out through the church office to Laura Greer, and she'd love to get you connected to hospitality opportunities. We're going to revision that job, and so we'll tell you a little bit more about that in the weeks to come. Part of it's connected with the opening of this new building. We also have, this is something that most of you will not know, but Sally Hunley, who has been fantastic as our interim children's worship leader, she's actually getting ready to start school next week, and will not be, as of the end of August, actually doing children's ministry in a paid capacity in the life of Longs Chapel. And so we're still grateful that she's very much part of the Longs Chapel family and still will continue to be. But we'll begin this week to be thinking about staff-wise what needs to be next for children's ministry. Something that's very close to our heart.
That's right, that's right. And youth ministries is still rocking and rolling. And I think Sean is going to be sending out a video update about youth activities and youth possibilities coming up, as well as kind of featuring some of the scholarship recipients. So that's kind of something to look forward to in regards to youth. And he's also helping to spearhead kind of young adult ministry for people 18 to 27, a young adult small group, a life group for that age range. Hopefully about once a month. I think it's on Tuesdays, but I'm not sure. Look for his update about those specifics.
That's awesome. I also, Judy, you had mentioned a minute ago, we are most concerned about folks that we may be unaware of their needs. And so one of the things that we want to mention to you is Tim McConnell is running our pastoral care ministry, congregational care ministry. And pretty much all things congregational pastoral care, they go through Tim. Now, Tim isn't doing all of that. He's got lay leaders, and he's obviously got those of us that are pastors and staff leaders connecting and supporting people in all kinds of different ways. But almost all of that goes through him. And so if you know of somebody that they're lonely, they're having a crisis in their life, something is shifting and changing, and they don't have the kind of support or connectivity to Longs Chapel that we'd long for them to have.
Or internet issues.
Or
Like
internet
if
issues,
it's
sure.
Somebody who just like doesn't know how to connect with internet or doesn't utilize that modality, and we need to do more
Yes.
in person or something.
That's exactly right.
We need to know about those individuals too.
We need to know about those folks, so please let us know if there's a way you can send us an email, or you can call and reach out to Tim or Lynn Carpenter, who's his assistant, or feel free to grab me or reach out to me, myself or Lori, and we'll make sure that Tim gets that information. So that's great.
And the Children's Developmental Center,
Yes,
going great. Child Enrichment Center is going great in large part because of all the staff that are just so wonderful, and Belinda. And she's been wonderful when we first hired her in January, and my goodness, she has just really stepped up, especially since March. And I think we're fixing to add a couple classrooms.
We are.
That will happen in the fall also.
It will,
Like
and
that.
we're really excited about that. That actually, Judy, that could happen as soon as the next couple weeks.
Oh wow, okay.
No, it's really, really exciting. Another thing I just want to mention is that we have a heart and a concern for the fact that families are going to be in limbo this fall related to school. And so we have had a ministry called The Hangout, which is our after-school program. Of course, we suspended that with the pandemic, but we are trying to brainstorm, and I invite you to pray for us on this. We're trying to brainstorm for ways that we can be supportive of what's happening in the school system with virtual learning. We don't have any easy answers for that yet about what we're ready to roll out, because that need seems to kind of change from week to week. But I just want you praying with us about that.
Yeah, and church leadership knows that we're kind of in this for the long haul, and figuring out how to best serve our community and how to best use our space, inside and out, and just keep rolling.
Totally agree. Totally agree. We are so grateful for your continued support, generosity, connecting. I get to run into you all over town, or sometimes get really nice cards and emails about different ways that you're connecting and different ways that Longs Chapel is encouraging you in this really interesting season. And I just want to thank you for all the different ways that you're living out the love and the light of God in this season. Judy is doing a fantastic job as your church leadership chair, and her team, this church leadership team, is doing a fantastic job of navigating these uncharted waters. In ways where we have answers, we're moving forward in those answers. In ways that we're having to discern answers, we're being very prayerful about it, and we're also reaching out to experts that can help us figure out how we can learn these lessons from this season and translate that into healthy ministry for years and years to come. And so prayers and support continue to be appreciated in the work that we're called to do in the life of Longs Chapel in this season.
Yeah, and just reach out to us if you have other questions or things you want to know more about. Just let us know.
Love it. Thank you. May God bless you and keep you, friends.